this morning is Mr. Harry Mullen. Harry has long been interested in how individuals can work together more effectively. Today, he'll be tackling a controversial subject with humor and hopefully insight. The goal is to broaden understanding and inspire us to think into less familiar directions. Would you please help me welcome, with your applause, our next speaker, Mr. Harry Mullen.
My fellow Toastmasters, a Herculean task is to engage in difficult conversations. It sometimes resembles a food fight, especially in family gatherings. And we all know the main hot button subjects: politics, religion, and computer operating systems. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to talk about computer operating systems. I have a real computer. People who rely on a fruit company, what is there to say? So I'll just put this over to one side. We can get back to it later if we need to. No, my fellow Toastmasters, I want to talk about two words. And my objective is to encourage you to think about these two words and maybe not react quite so reflexively. And they are selfishness and sacrifice. The good and the bad in human relations. What? Harry, what did you just say? Selfishness? Good? Maybe. I mean, think about what a selfish person is that we normally think of, because the word means to act in your own self-interest. But we think of lying, cheating, stealing, being a son of a bitch. Have you met people like that? I say they're self-destructive, not selfish. But there is a widespread belief in this idea that selfishness is wrong. When my daughter was young, I did work at home, so I was the one that got to take her to the park, me and all the moms and the kids playing. And every once in a while, there'd be Johnny with a new truck. Freddie sees it, comes walking over, grabs it. World War III ensues. Mom runs over. Johnny, in our family, we share. Don't be selfish. I'm thinking to myself, Freddie, what are you bringing to the table? You going to trade something? But I don't say anything, because that little niggling voice inside me is thinking, hey, I saw that mom roll up in a brand new BMW with a convertible top, late model. I'm driving a banger. I'm tempted to walk over. Hey, I love it. Share right here. The car keys, I need it. But don't worry, Toastmasters, I'm not as dumb as I look. Had I tried that, phones would have come out. First number would have been 9, followed by 2 ones. Weirdo, getting moms all upset. Black helicopters showing up. Next thing I know, I'm finding out what Area 51 really is. So I didn't touch it. But think about it. What about sacrifice? It means literally to give up a higher value to a lower value. A higher to a lower. I know we don't use it like that all the time. We mean a cost. Something cost us, we sacrifice. But I'm talking about it in the moral sense. Do you sacrifice a higher value for a lower value? And I would say no. But you hear this all the time. Parents facing teenagers, frustrated because the teenagers are being teenagers. And they'll say something like, don't you know how much I sacrificed to get you into college and you're sitting on your butt. Smart-ass teenager might say something along the lines of, wait a second, you told me it was better to give than receive. I'm just helping you out. Not even teenagers are that dumb at that moment to say that, but I wonder. But there's another place where sacrifice comes up a lot. And I may have an ally in that one, and that's in the military. A number of our members here are former fighting men. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. It was 1943, just before the Army left North Africa. And it's been massaged around, but in the movie Patton, George himself looked at the troops and said, guys, it's not your job to sacrifice for your country. It's your job to get the other son of a bitch to sacrifice for his. And to that sentiment, I say, hoorah. Especially in the days when we have travesties such as Benghazi, when we did not support our troops. But I realize, because I've met the man who made the film 13 Hours, talking about what it was like from a soldier's perspective in that. And he takes great comfort, I believe it's John verse 10, that sacrifice to lay down your life for another man, there's nothing higher. And I would not take that away from anybody. But I ask you to think about it, because those haunting words, the planes never came, I can't get out of my head. So at this point, maybe you're thinking, Harry, come on. Yeah, you got some points here, but nobody uses words that way. Come on, it's worked for thousands of years. Let's stay with it. And I remind you not to worry. Remember the fruit company over here? It's still there. Take that fruit when you have those difficult conversations, crunch it all up. And in the immortal words of John Belushi in Animal House, look at your fellow family members and yell out loudly, food fight! Mr. Toastmaster.
All right.